It may not be the famed iPhone 5 we all thought we were getting, but it's a pretty darn good phone in its own right and definitely worth the buzz. I'm Jessica Dalcourt for Cnet, and I'm talking about the iPhone 4S. Unless you've got an eagle eye on the antenna, there's almost no visual difference in design between the iPhone 4 and the 4S. It's got the same striking curves, edges, and corners as the iPhone 4 and the same aluminum unibody build, plus 2 panes of glass on both sides of the screen, all of which make the iPhone 4S a premium-looking phone that everyone else keeps trying to match. Still, there are differences between the two, starting with the carriers. Now we've got 3 carrier options. We've got AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint. Sprint is sweetening the deal by being the only one to offer an unlimited data plan, for now anyway, so if that's important to you, you better nab it while you can. In addition, Apple has introduced a 64GB model to go along with its 16 and 32GB options. Because of the different storage capacities, the price ranges from about $200 to $400. I should also mention that Apple is offering all of these in black and white, so when you consider the carriers, the colors, and the 3 storage sizes, you actually have your choice of 18 different phones here in the US. Yikes. Fortunately, there's a lot on the inside that also makes the iPhone 4S a tough phone to beat. It's got an 8-megapixel camera that does really great in low-light situations thanks to a new backside illuminated sensor. The camera claims to let in 73% more light than the iPhone 4 camera, and it snaps photos 33% faster. And let me tell you, there is a noticeable difference. There are also some simple but handy photo editing tools built in. Of course, there's a front-facing camera too, which is good for Apple's FaceTime video chat and also good for third-party video chat apps. The camera takes 1080 HD video clips at 30 frames per second, which results in some very smooth-looking video. But of course, as these things go, one of my favorite camera features is also the simplest, and that's being able to get to the camera from the lock screen without having to first unlock the phone. Win!
Your satisfaction is all the thanks I need.
I don't know about you, but the word I've heard on everyone's lips since the iPhone 4S came out is Siri. This is the voice assistant with the sassy, sarcastic personality that you can only find on the iPhone 4S. Voice actions on their own are nothing new. They're on Android, they're on Windows Phone, they're on BlackBerry, and you can even find voice prompts on a lot of feature phones. The thing is, you're usually concentrating on being clear and precise and using the correct words that the program can recognize, so it always sounds like you're barking orders at your phone. And the thing that makes Siri stand out is that you can be conversational, asking questions like, "Hey, how do I get to the movie theater?" or "Remind me to pick up my dry cleaning tomorrow at 6.
Here's your reminder for tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Even if Siri doesn't understand you perfectly, it's more fun to feel with her than it is with the other voice search apps.
Shall I create it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll remind you.
As fun as Siri is, it's only useful if you don't mind being that guy, the one who's talking into their phone. iMessage may be more mundane than Siri, but for most people, I'd argue it's going to be more useful as well. It's basically free IM for anyone with the iOS 5 software upgrade, and it's seamlessly built into the messaging app. You don't have to set anything up or wonder if you're sending a text or an IM. iMessage just sends the message automatically. Apple wasn't the first to come up with this concept by a long shot, but their implementation is instant and it's really smooth. The iOS 5 update also brings the iPhone 4S a new notification system that finally catches it up to Android, mostly. And the same goes for Twitter integration as well. So if anyone was holding off on the iPhone because of these things, those reasons have just evaporated. There are a couple of other things that help make the iPhone 4S an altogether really great phone. And one of those is the A5 processor, which is Apple's name for its custom dual-core 1 GHz processor with a dual-core GPU, and that makes it good for gaming. The processor is also what helps render photos so quickly. Now here's another little nugget that's under the hood. The iPhone 4S supports both GSM and CDMA voice technologies, which is important for Verizon and Sprint customers. That's because it means that you can still use your iPhone 4S in GSM areas outside of the US. I'll be the first to admit this phone is definitely less than perfect, and the most glaring omission of all is the fact that there's no 4G support. So the carrier's fastest 3G speed is the fastest that you're going to be able to do things like stream and download media and also surf the web. But even despite the lack of 4G, the iPhone 4S still absolutely deserves the spotlight. There are plenty of other really fantastic smartphones on the market, and those with larger but equally beautiful screens, those with excellent build quality, phones with lightning fast 4G speeds, phones with more open and customizable environments. You get it. I'm with you. I really like those phones too, and I like the choice on the market. However, the iPhone 4S manages to bring together a really impressive number of shining qualities under a now iconic interface and design. So basically, if you're thinking of buying it as a gift for somebody else or for yourself, you really can't go wrong. However, if you are feeling extra generous, you might want to consider picking up a cover, a cleaning cloth, and maybe a Bluetooth headset for hands-free calling. I'm Jessica Dalcourt, this is Cnet.com, and I've had my spotlight on the iPhone 4S for AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint.